going on, y'all? The reviewer is here, and I'm back to give this movie review of Get Out. Alright, this movie is a psychological horror film that is directed by Jordan Peele. Alright, this movie came out in 2017, and this is from the Blumhouse. Is it Blumhouse? The producer. When I first, I'm gonna tell y'all a little something, man. When I first seen this trailer, I instantly, and I mean instantly, knew this was going to be a great film. I instantly knew it, because I was like, Jordan Peele finally coming through to direct movies, man. So anyway, the actors that was on this film is Daniel Kaluuya as Chris Washington, Allison Williams as Rose Armitage, Lil Rel Howery as Rod of TSA, LaKeith Stanfield as Andre Hayward, Bradley Whitford as Dean, who is Rose's father, Catherine Keener as Missy Armitage. She's a pretty woman, by the way. Erica Alexander as Detective Latoya, another pretty woman. Betty Gabriel as Georgina. She's pretty as well. Let me stop. But anyway, it starts off as a guy named Andre Hayward, who is LaKeith Stanfield character. I guess he's going to some female house, just walking down the street. First of all, I'm going to say, why the heck you walking around an area like that at night? Absolutely not. As he walking down the street, he noticed this car creeping up on him. So he tries to, dodge the car in some way and try to just walk the opposite direction. But before he tried to do so, it was too late. The guy got out the car. I think that was a Porsche. He got out the car. He killed him, snatched him in the car, and drove away. So with that being said, then it leads forward to the movie. The intro is kind of creepy, by the way. Daniel Kaluuya as Chris, he's a photographer, and he's taking pictures a lot. Allison Williams, who is Rose, they're in a relationship. So basically they're in an interracial relationship, and they're planning to visit Rose's parents for the weekend. Chris kind of asked Rose, he said, do your parents know that, I'm black? Rose trying to tell them, my parents are not racist and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. So he felt kind of skeptical about going. So while they're driving, Rose driving, I'm going to give a little hint. So Rose was saying his friend, who's Rod, saying that she wanted to get with him, or stuff like that, and Chris is like, stop that, blah blah blah. I guess they were playing around. They hit this deer. They got out the car and they trying to figure what's going on. One of her the tail, I think the headlights got broken or something like that. As Chris looking at the deer winds up dying. So they call the police, and the police, well, he was talking to Rose at first, and then the cop asked Chris for his ID. And Rose said, no, you don't need to give him your ID. He wasn't driving. So Chris is like, no, it's okay. Here's the ID. And Rose is like, no, you're not getting his ID. He wasn't driving. He didn't do anything wrong, and all that stuff. Which is, I'm going to tell you something, which is my favorite scene. I'm going to say a little bit about it later on. All right. So as they get to the parents' house, they're introducing each other and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah. Chris does notice a lot of weird things going on in the house. The things that he's noticing is that people acting weird, and he's trying to figure out, like, why are these people acting weird? You know what I'm saying? So he meets Rose's brother, who seems a little off. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And if y'all know Rose's mother, Missy, she's a hypnotist or psychiatrist or something like that. And her dad is a neurosurgeon who is Dean, by the way. So a lot of these things going on, and like I said, Chris doesn't understand what the heck is up with the situation. So I don't know. With that being said, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about this movie. I hope I didn't give out too many spoilers, because I said I wasn't going to give any. But I was just giving y'all a little, to understand what this movie is about. I'm going to say that this is one of the best movies that I ever seen in my entire life. This movie is very well thought of. And I know some people, everybody ain't gonna like this movie, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? This movie was so well thought of, man. I remember I was in the theaters and I was just on the edge of my seat, man, wondering what the hell was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I was watching it thinking to myself, like, wow. I came out the theater with a damn smile on my face, and I've never really done that in a movie. Like, I got out the movie theater and I'm like, yeah, that movie was pretty good. But I walk out there with a damn smile on my face, smiling ear to ear, thinking to myself, like, this was really put together like a mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell y'all some of my favorite scenes. Like I told y'all before, the scene with the cop asking Chris for his ID, and like I said, Rose is denying him from, showing the ID to the cop. And there's a little trick to that too, in case y'all haven't seen the film. There's a little mix up. And I was like, that was pretty clever. You know what I'm saying? And then another scene of mine is when Rod is on the phone talking to Rose, about Chris in the situation that happened. I ain't gonna get into it, but that's another one of my favorite scenes. Rose played that part off so darn good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, it's crazy. I'm trying to think of another scene of mine that I like. I also like the scene when he's talking to one of the guys outside. That was, if y'all remember the preview, the guy that was running and he was taking off like nothing happened. He was just running crazy. That was one of my favorite scenes too. It's like, what the hell was he doing? They said, let me up it a little bit. Get Out is a Toon original, grimly tense and in tune with its time. And I have to agree wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? I done watched this movie like 3-4 times, man, and I have not got tired of it. I'm going to say this movie was ahead of its time. I'm going to say it. So with that being said, they got bonus features such as alternate endings, and they got deleted scenes and commentary and other things that's on this Blu-ray. If you have not seen this movie before, I would be highly surprised you didn't. Check this thing out when you get a chance. It would be amazing if they come out with a sequel. It would be so damn amazing if they do, because I myself would like to see a sequel. The way it ended, I would love to see it if there's one coming out. All right. So with that being said, shout out to Jordan Peele for coming out with an amazing movie. Like I said, I watched this movie in theaters. I was so impressed with this film. All right, so with that being said, I'm out. I'm about to get out. Much love to the real folks, and I'll be on here back with another review. All right, peace out, guys.